Yo guys, I'm reviewing the old LOL coach KB. Back in the time, I had a different name for my YouTube channel as well, which I changed, which was called Gabi Istvan at the time. And so my first league coaching video was actually a Victor versus Irelia. This guy was from America. His brother brought him this league coaching, his older brother, that also introduced him sort of to uh, league itself. Back in the time, I had a funnier profile as well. So let's see what happened in this game. Let's review it. Almost 3 years passed, by the way. Let's see if there is actually was I a ball scammer in the past? Did I know how to league coach back in the time? Did I improve my league coachings ever since then? So let's see. Let's see how this went.
Alright, so what was your in-game name?
Definitely had a little nicer voice tone. That's 100%. Would say like I was a bit less fiery.
Big Yoshi.
Bag Yoshi, okay.
Yeah.
Like this?
Can see I was definitely
No.
I mean, I found it.
You want me to send it to you?
Just send it to me so I can copy paste that.
And the different. I think that my Discord icon is different again.
Now I
The old one
exposed
was
our
cool,
chat.
but this is like a piece
Goddamn.
icon that's like AI generated.
Okay.
Sent him some Victor combos in the past to like practice.
Bag Yoshi PC. I mean, it's not like you can play League from console, so why did you like add PC at the end of your name though?
Cause Big Yoshi was taken.
Oh, okay.
Reasonable. You know what? Reasonable.
Okay, so which game do we want to read?
Oh, back in the time, Crown of the Shattered Guard. People don't even know what the fuck is that item, but basically that just simply allowed Victor to have a bit more like defense on. It's basically similar to Banshee, but it actually provided like a percentage damage reduction. First of all, it was I think a 75 percentage damage reduction for 1.5 seconds, something like that. Then they nerfed it to 40 percentage for a little bit longer of a duration, but it was always kind of a dog shit item. At the beginning it was a bit strong, but then it was dog shit, then people realized, well, it's actually just dog shit.
Rewatch in here.
The most recent one.
This one? Okay.
Yeah.
You went for TP and Flash. Well, let's see what happened this game. Alright, we are facing an Irelia. Oh, goddamn. That's a difficult matchup to deal with, honestly. Least early on, you fall off to the category where you kinda need to scale and avoid as many E's as you can, but once you're able to avoid to dodge an E, you're actually free to go for some pokes. As well, you can play around Irelia with your own jungler as well, since how she usually she doesn't really like trades, she mostly all-in, so if she ever uses both of her Qs, it's really easy to stun her with your W, then your jungler just commits into a gank, right?
Yeah, like by the way, like there aren't even these days, sadly there aren't like way too good openings into Irelia if Irelia is supposed to play well, so I think this information was very valid. Like the small the small advantages you can take, you should, there are very like small windows where you can actually like do stuff.
Okay.
My mic was a bit different, but it also was like a very like chill mic.
Well, the enemy really only got 2 inches apparently. Alright. We have a Jason here, Kane. We have a really snowbally team comp apparently. Alright.
I jump a little bit forward.
Alright. So ideally I would... I mean, I don't know if it's a good idea for you to Q-start, is it? Because I'm like... I think you kinda need to hold your distance as much as possible from Irelia and pick up the first 3 minions with your E, because if she ever gets a Q cheese on you, I feel like that will be a really...
I think Lethal Tempo was different maybe, because I think it was also I think way more OP in the early game. I think Lethal Tempo, because that was basically the Lethal Tempo. I'm not sure if this was the patch where it provided, by the way, up to 90% attack speed even at level 1. I'm not sure which patch was it, but certainly, like, even after nerf, it still provided like an insane steroid amount of attack speed. So, regardless if it was the nerfed or the unnerfed version, it was still like insanely strong.
Really strong trade on her side.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Like probably E-Start would be a bit better just to pick up the first 3 minions,
Yeah,
because in here...
So there are some very rare occasions where you don't wanna like Q-start, I mean you don't wanna Q-start, yeah? Just because like some people are very capable to actually like all-in you. So I would be a bit more concerned. This also applies obviously to Tryndamere as well, Irelia.
Here,
Minions have
in here she can
So
just
you got a
simply
bit
all-in
more
you even at
cautious.
level 1 sadly. So just like
Maybe
a
even
shitty spot
Yasuo
to
with
be
the
in.
Hail of Blades
By
with
the
the
way, this
grasp,
is like a really
should be a bit concerned of these
big
days.
spot to stay in, like let's go to your own camera, I mean to your own team. So this is what we see. This is like a bad spot to be in because it's like if they collapse from this...
Oh, actually, that's so smart. I don't even say things, I think, these days. I don't even like criticize people's like. Often I don't even mention it if I think about. I mean, I don't even know when did I have a coaching session last time, but I think often I don't specifically criticize people about their guarding against potential invades. Or like about their positioning.
side, it's a bit hard to avoid them this way, so it's better if you sit in here because Jace is covering this area, and if you sit in here you can see if somebody's coming this way or this way or this way, but this way people don't really come, right? So
yeah, I think that's a fair, because Jace is already covering.
It's much safer for you because if they show up, they just most likely gonna invade like this, and then go like this on the cane, right? So if they ever invade, you're just dead in here. That's my point, Like it's a bit dangerous with like 0 mobility in our kit to like sit in this area when they got like good invading champs in here.
This was probably the cheapest stuff.
I mean, if you don't get killed, then it should be fine. Yeah, you don't get killed apparently. I'm gonna turn the epic pen on as well. Okay.
I'm gonna pull the mic a bit closer to me. Epic pen, by the way, Epic pen was the tool that
There's
I
like
used.
one thing you could do earlier on, so let's go back a little bit, right? So it really generally means a level 1 all-in against you if she stacks up her Q on the minions, right? So when these minions are full HP, you should aim to like step up more deeply and aim to pressure her because she can't Q in right now. Just in this spot she can't actually Q in.
That's
so
true even till these days. It's just like as broken as Little Tempo was, I'm just like low-key thinking like, couldn't she just literally Q in and stat check Victor anyways? But I guess he has phase rush, so if you Q basics, like even if she would win extended, he gets to space, so I don't think so. It's probably not a problem.
If she's positioning like this, try to actually punish her with an E, with a Q, whatever you have it up. Because right now she can Q the minions because they are full HP, so you can actually pressure her a little bit. But if the minions fall low on HP to the point where she has enough damage to execute them and get on top of you, then we don't want to be close to Irelia anymore. So like in here, like we have a space to actually step up deeper and maybe try to go for a knee or an auto or something, right? And she will most likely walk away in that case scenario, right? So if she doesn't, then you can punish her, but in here we have like a space to look to go for some type of trades.
I guess I wasn't a bald scammer, guys. I wasn't a bald scammer.
Now, like, you shouldn't play this defensively, so yes, it's a dangerous matchup, but not yet. Like, she deals at level 1 like 110 damage with her Q, which means these won't be executed yet.
He played way too safely, and this just sort of enables Irelia to get the first 3 minions plus maybe a Q on top of him, so ideally you either Q the backline minions or basically you could also like Q one of them basic attacker, but ideally you just want a basic a backline minion. They are gonna focus on minions, so Irelia can get her passive even if you would like slow push, so there are things you can do, but the worst thing you could do is just to like
now we should be careful how we play. Because look how she will bounce. She will jump something like this. She jumps to this one as well,
maybe
right?
Basic, look like Q, basic, Q, no?
This one takes like 1 auto attack from the minion, then she all-ins you, so in here you need to be...
guys.
Be careful, cause if this Irelia, I don't know, would think a little bit, she would just bounce on everything in here and get on top of you. And then we're gonna lose like half HP or so. Okay.
This Irelia is...
This Irelia doesn't give a shit, or? No, now he started playing.
Yeah, she was a bit slow.
Yeah, so this could be actually much worse if she played it properly. Like you could lose like half HP or so.
I feel like
so you gotta play around your strengths, you know. Okay.
But he had bomb plating, that's why it looks like that it wasn't that concerning. But even back in the time, I didn't give a shit to ask about people's opinion. Like, I think quite often I do it these days as well. If not even the majority of the times. But you know, I didn't even ask people about like what do they think about, because I was like, back in the time I was like, well, these people don't think about shit. No, no hate obviously on them, but no hate on them. But I was like, when I try to do that now and then, when I try to like, you know, basically like not tell them upfront answer instead of like making them think, making them unlock some new thinking patterns, making them try to figure out on what to do. After that, it just ended up in a cringe conversation in my experience, like silent awkwardness. So I wasn't like some people were fine with it, depends on the person. But if I think about it, wasn't like actively coaching, it was more like I tell you what to do, you know. And a lot of often for people that was fine, and often people ranked up with those advices, so it wasn't like it was absolutely bad, you know. It just wasn't really... I think it wasn't really giving them the knowledge to sort of know how to figure things out by themselves. It's more of a... it's more of a maybe something that a exploitative company would do, perhaps.
Like in here, you know what was her mistake? Like she could then play this much cleaner, and she could then like swing in like one or two more autos, which would take more of your HP down. So the punishment would be actually like way stronger, you know.
If she
it's not a big deal though, cause you know she will do some mistakes as well. I'm just trying to make you aware that she's really dangerous.
Even in here, she could man connect an EQ.
She picks up.
That's what I was saying. Like she's very dangerous, by the way. Irelia, I'm not even sure if she was worse, like base kit wise, or better. Approximately same-ish, but Lethal Tempo was dangerous.
The 3 minions.
I think her passive been nerfed, buffed, like her Q got recent. Like there were some changes, but Irelia was, you know, Irelia with Bork is just still kind of Irelia, you know.
Okay, so now we are in a safe spot. We can poke her as much as we can. Right? And now we wanna hold the wave on your side like this. Just don't push the wave in here, we don't have to push the wave. Best if you just last it, because the wave is on your side, which means she can just all in you right now. Okay.
I had like so many like live coachings to the point where it's like, I think I just like all the time told people what to do, because I was used to it from live coachings, because that's where you didn't really have the time and space to like properly like get through like what does my client think about, you feel me. And I talked to a client, he told me that he brought league coaching even though it was expensive from another guy that was basically like I think charging more, but he was also like asking him questions, you know. And I mean basically that's what I like never, I think like for like I just never really gave a shit about that. But I think that's how you probably make it a bit more interesting for people, these sessions, because I guess like a hour passes and like people learn and people can get impressed, but also like some people also want some form of attention, some form of communication, you know. Their voice maybe has to be heard, right?
Okay, we are last hitting. She got her level 3.
One important thing I never mentioned really, like potential pike roams or ganks, but early on he will never get ganked by obviously like by Nocturne, and in these ranks Ornn never walks mid lane to fucking RA Victor. And I think he was like bronze, so I mean pike could roam, but it's important to raise people's awareness about potentials and at which level spike they could be more or less threatening. For example, Pyke at level 3 could ideally roam, at 6 Nocturne can gank mid lane, because he got phase rush without like, you know, without 6 he can barely gank a phase rush. Even after it's questionable, but then again, like before, back in the time, phase rush wasn't slightly nerfed as it is right now, and also like it basically was bronze anyway. So I think some things I didn't mention.
Again, so here's the thing.
Wasn't like really realistic that basically after 6 it all ganks mid lane.
Again, we don't really wanna push in here, because you already probably know, like if you play the whole game against Irelia, you already know like what happens if you push the wave towards her, then you just give her a bigger space to run you down. Right? Like generally speaking, you should mostly slow push and just try to hold the wave on your side, but it's a really bad idea to try to overly push the wave. I mean, in here we are slowly stacking up a big wave, but I feel like she can trim this wave.
Can be a bit threatening.
And
yeah,
if she holds it on
wave, she could trim it, because Rodin is very strong with little tempo.
your side, it's just like a bad spot to be in.
She could QE. She could QE. That's why I said like he has to be a bit concerned.
Okay, that was a good fast combo.
Actually, maybe the E was kinda bad, because he procced his phase rush and now he doesn't have the safety to push in the wave or to like poke. So usually it actually, like, I know E dealt damage and that was a good quick combo, but because he gave up an important resource which was phase rush, and I think this was after phase rush getting nerfed, which pushed the cooldown up to like 30 seconds in the early game, then it progressively goes down and down, but I think phase rush had a longish cooldown.
Okay. Now the wave is a little bit on her side, so right now we can't really step up too much. So
yeah, the E usage was a bit bad, right? Because less safety from ganks, less safety from Irelia, so that's a bit.
So we can go for some type of warding apparently. They went for a short warding here.
Well, by the way, in the past I wouldn't even mention it that the E usage was bad because he doesn't have phase rush. It's just like me being like smarter from my past self, but I would say like that would be a good short trade, but it isn't really because of Irelia's obnoxious all-in, and because she has sustain, so that even if he had 2 points in it, it wasn't enough. But like resource management wise, I wasn't thinking the same way about the game as I am right now. That's 100%. I was literally like...
Now we just get these minions
I think
with you.
back in the time, I'm not sure if this was back in the time when it was, I think, 10 or 15 euros for 2 hours. Now these days is different. I have discounts now, and even this is a discount because it was higher before, but it's a kind of like discounted forever at this point. I don't know, it was higher before, by the way, now it's lower. Before I had a discount, which I just deleted, but these days it's like 15 euro. I think back in the time, I think it was like 10 for 2 hours.
3 and 10 leave. Huh?
Or was it like 20 for 2 hours? I don't even know, maybe, I don't know, I don't remember. Probably it's still here if I hopefully didn't deleted it. Let's see if I didn't I deleted them for business purposes, but they would be nostalgic to look at, I guess, but that's whatever.
Yes, this is what I wanted to.
And in here you have to be cautious so he doesn't walk out of his W, because if he walks out of it and he really accuse, after him he will be outside of his circle.
Or can you actually space out? Yeah, you actually can space out. Yeah, it's just bad play from your part. Yeah, I think we are killing her with the minion.
Okay, Ignites flashed for nothing.
First blood.
Okay, we got her. Now we take our reset, so yeah, they're really nice outplaying here with your flash. You don't even have to flash. So both of our sums are out. That's really good actually.
What is this lag?
Okay. So since he has no TP, we can just simply push it because she can just TP to the top. And then there is like a ward where she actually has a freeze in here, which is kind of a bummer. Plus like the cannon would probably die. Like if he holds a freeze, then it might be a problem for us.
Yeah, because this kill doesn't mean shit. Because Irelia was like so strong with little tempo, to the point where you still get smashed in a all-in, so I would be cautious.
Yeah, like the cannon would die and maybe 1 or 2, 3 minions. So
You didn't put
really
it
somewhere like around this area, I feel like.
Because like the thing is like Nocturne can't even gank pre-6, because if Victor procs phase rush, he's just out, man. Especially because you're not gonna use your W to wave clear. So not only you proc phase rush, you also have your W slow, to the point where he just doesn't have a good opening to game.
So since he has no TP, we can just simply push it because she can just TP to the tower and hold the freeze.
She can TP, as I said as well. So in the past, I told people that you shouldn't be concerned, because like you can push this. You know, if you can't, you should recall TP back.
By chance,
but in here, you shouldn't push it.
It's actually really good for us. I would aim just to... I feel like you should man push these things.
Yeah, because there's no way. Also, Pyke is bot lane, so there is no concern of a Pyke. I think Pyke Nocturne combination could be concerning, but as behind as Nocturne is with levels, I mean, we can also see even Kayn is level 3, so it's like they're very far from that 6, honestly. But let's keep a little bit forward.
Because I don't feel like Nocturne has any type of real danger towards us when you have W, phase rush, flash.
I even mentioned, guys, like what the hell, I was so ahead of my time, was I? Was I? Yes,
and now, I mean, let's hope she doesn't freeze this.
She wasn't that smart.
So here's the thing, like, it's good if she doesn't freeze this, because like this is bronze elo and in this rank not many people know how.
I even specifically mentioned it to people that, yeah, it's great if they don't freeze, but generally speaking, that's not how you should play, because people that come to league coaching, they generally speaking want to get higher and higher with ranks, and the higher you go, the more reliantly you have to use your basically like laning phase fundamentals, your wave management. So at that point you kinda have to, like, if you get higher and higher, you have to watch out more and more for your laning phase. So I even specifically mentioned out the errors of the enemy player, which shouldn't be considered as a good deed that he left that wave in such a state. It just really means that normally you don't want to do that, you know.
Also freeze or hold the wave on their side, so that's like a good thing, right? But if you would rank up a little more, maybe people will realize how to freeze, and that will put you in a bad spot, you know?
I think like back in the time, 3 years ago, maybe around gold, platinum-ish, people were freezing, I think, something like that.
And it's not only because they freeze, you need to deny those minions, of course,
yeah,
right?
That too. Oh, jumpy E, that's not good. That is not great.
So we brought 2 amplifying tomes, Sapphire Crystal. Alright. Maybe I would actually just simply get boots over like Sapphire Crystal on an amplifying tome, maybe over the amplifying tome. Okay, so I went for a decent trade. Just because the thing is, the movement speed is really valuable to try to outspace her, because she shares the same movement speed as you do, so it's easy.
It's easier to like space in those Qs, those easy, you know, sidestep a little bit her, so yeah, I think I was kind of low-key, I was ahead of my time, low-key.
You have to actually like distance yourself out from her audience, you know.
I think sometimes these days I don't even talk about boots enough, I feel like. But I don't even know when did I have my last like league coaching client, or like basically these days I don't, sometimes I'm promoted, but basically I think I wasn't like okay, there was one in December 2023. I think I had only one in 2024, or maybe some people didn't leave a review, if I think about it, honestly, if I think about it, but there weren't many, that's 100%.
Then again, it's not bad if you went for amplifying tone, it just helps to go
so
get
like
faster with
2024 was like
I just value more
very low on clients.
mobility in this matchup than...
Also, I didn't really take care much of the business, so that's also true. That's not, because they were like different things I worked on, and different
some extra damage.
Motivations and
so now she will most likely jump to this minion, but she is a bit behind with it. No, she actually gets 6. I feel like she's gonna surprise kill you in here, won't she?
Oh, that's what I also mentioned, that normally they put a point in terror and Victor is dead. If it ever happens, I think you should be more cautious on that.
Oh! I think you just forgot to place the point in her ultimate, because you're actually forced out to flash in there, you know? Like, I'm like...
Oh, actually, I even said you're forced to flash, instead you're dead.
Like, just because she soaked the wave that you didn't push in time, she got 6 of the cannon, and
I think it maybe wasn't sometimes funny enough, sometimes maybe, but it also was, I think, too much of a document film, and so like Bagyoshi basically was like I think 15 or something, and so his brother Monarch wanted to buy him some league coaching, but I think maybe he didn't have the best attention Spanish for this maybe, um, for this, and I think maybe I failed to like make it more interesting for a very young audience as well, because I think he wasn't my youngest client. He wasn't my youngest client because I think the youngest was like actually like paid client wise. I guess he was the youngest because I think Monarch also kind of like wanted Bagyoshi to like maybe like to be like maybe get some type of like career out of it, get some type of like head start, maybe something that he couldn't really get himself. So it was really out of a nice place, I would say, that this did. But basically, after time, he kind of realized League is not like super authentic with him, so he kind of actually quit these days.
Basically, that means in here she could all-in you. She just didn't put a point in her ultimate for some reason. She placed the point accidentally in her Q, I think. Although she could ban actually all-in you here and possibly even kill you. So like in here, like
I don't know why I had to overly explain things. It's almost like everyone is just like stupid or something. I just have this like tendency to over explain things. But maybe I did it just because like I have to fill that 1 hour with something. And sometimes I felt pressure to like watch only one replay, but I think in here we watch 2 replays.
Yep, in here you could just genuinely ult you, so when the cannon was about to die, I think you should man leave the whole thing. The thing is, you don't take, like I know in game you don't exactly know how much XP she does have, but look, like you were level 5, right, and you just got right now level 6, and you have around the same, XP as she does, right? Close to her level because of this wave wasn't shoved in and she had like a small freeze in there, or I mean she gathered this minion wave, right? So you're somewhat even with her XP, so you don't know exactly if she gets it from this one, but from one of these minions he will definitely get level 6, you know. So it's just like, as I see it with my own eyes, you know, it's just like really not a good idea to step up. Like what you should be doing here is just try to like...
I think the way of explaining was a bit worse in the past. It was a bit too repetitive. And I think it could be a little bit more clear and a little bit more like on the subject, you know, on the yeah.
Distance yourself out and get a D on this cannon, because anytime soon
it was way too over explained in the past.
She could get like level 6 of the minions. That's like the problem.
But I also had the type of people that it had to be over explained, so I kind of got used to doing that. So it's kind of like weird, you know. It's kind of like weird, right?
Okay. So Kayn is coming?
He's not really
I mean, I guess he revealed too early.
Yeah, it wasn't really wasn't really the case. I didn't even use, by the way, my camera, and my mic was also worse. I didn't even use my camera in the past for these. I think I didn't have one, and just, you know, for streaming I also got this cam.
So she has no Vampiric Scepter yet, which is actually a good thing for us, because she can't out-sustain us so easily. But again, I don't like how you overstepped in here as well, so... Now Tisirili had no point in her ultimate, but no way you knew that, and that was an accident, so... Let's talk about your spacing, right? So, this minion is about to die, right? And...
Holy shit, I were over-explaining things to such a level.
If you play against Irelia, or against the champion...
I think I could ban... At least I could ban things, say things in a shorter way, you know?
That resets of a minion. What you should do is just to watch out on the minion's HP. So how you play against it.
And sometimes some of my clients were silent for the most part. And I had like returning clients, even though like they got exactly told what to do. So some people liked it, some people maybe less so much, but it was only like one guy that was a little bit more expressive about like maybe like one or two that was a bit more expressive about my repetitiveness. I think one guy was really goodly expressive about that, and the other guy was like ADHD forgot, I don't know, guys.
Irelia, you should look a lot of
I
times into your
prefer
own
fidget
minions
spinner,
HP
you
because
know.
that's the only way she gets on top of you if you're distancing yourself out. Which means that this minion is about to die because everything is focusing it, right? And in here, she could then actually just Q it and all in you. And possibly, there is a good chance that you either flash away or you die in here. So
I actually did repeat so often the same mistakes that people do, to the point where I think it was also kind of annoying.
yep, in here just she didn't have ultimate, like that's the whole thing, you know.
Oh god. Oh god.
She's not that good at regenerating. In here you should ban her, so every time she steps up to last hit something or last hit something with her auto attack or with her Q. As I said, in this matchup it's really important to watch out for your own minions HP like this cannon, right? So in here you could then throw in a knee, right? Like you should aim to punish her a little bit more because I feel like she has too high HP.
Yeah, I think the whole thing could be like better composed, you know? The whole thing could be said in a shorter way. Like obviously like I looked at every single detail, but I was also like very repetitive about them. Because like I was also like very concerned about like them getting the most value out of it, but I was also like, you know.
In here, like more than often you get some type of opportunities to get a knee on her. Okay. So again, like we get a knee of her. Oh, you thought this is the enemy or what?
Maybe just like now I realize that maybe I was boring the shit out of like Big Yoshi. Or maybe he wasn't like super confident to talk, which I could then try to like raise up a little bit his confidence as well. So maybe he feels a bit more comfortable or something. Just to seem to be more of a friendly person instead of like some too serious of a school educator something, you know. Because people are definitely gonna project a certain image on you when they see you as a teacher.
Okay, so you go for another. In here you should ban all in her with ultimate, Q, proc phase rush and try to space towards her because since last time she had no flash, Kayn is around, right? So here's the thing, even if you're in danger to be killed, which you're not really, if you have flash up, you can always bait somebody into a gank with flash and you can just flash out their combo. Alright. Like, but we don't do anything though, wait. In here you had like an all-in opportunity, you know? So, here's the thing. Let's look a little bit backwards in here, right? So she's kinda low on HP because you chipped her HP down, right? Which means we are in the spot right now to get an all-in on her, which we generally don't get to. But this guy is behind with items and he has no vampiric scatter, which means she can't like permanently sustain up, right? So, in here you get a good E on her, right? And she queues in front of you, right? So here's the thing, Kayn is coming to cover us, right? And what we should do is just pop a Q on her, right? Get our ult off, right? The problem is you're spacing a little bit backwards in here when she queues in, but look at her HP. Like
yeah, I just now realized how repetitive I was. Holy fuck.
She has like what HP? She has a really low amount of HP, so you feel
everything got at least twice explained, you know.
With her?
But maybe in the past I also had people that really needed this. I'm not sure why this was such a habit.
It's like 130 upfront damage and 94 per second, right? Which lasts for 6.5 seconds in total. That's a lot of damage. Your Q has like how much flash, but I'm not sure if you can reach him. I probably can't reach. The very next time.
Let's keep a bit forward, guys.
And you can capitalize of those mistakes by all-inning in some scenarios, even if their champion is supposed to beat us in for somebody.
Yeah, that's true.
So in here, if you auto-attack,
yeah.
probably somebody. So in here, if you auto-attack her, I think she's possibly dead now. Probably she's dead now.
Yeah.
I think here I got probably the first word out of him.
If not, maximum Kayn kills her.
What was the situation before? Let me just... Oh no, this is forwards, this is not backwards.
Can decide.
Yeah.
Probably she's dead. So in here, if you auto attack her, I think she's possibly dead, no? A position. Simply go for an auto attack instead. Like you space backwards too much, you know, when you are in a position to go for an early game, since they do mistakes as well, as I said. So
no, I don't know. Maybe. I'm like maybe this kills, but probably not. But at least you should ban right. Actually, like one basic, one empowered basic plus a flash basic would probably be lethal. I would fairly assume that, no? Probably.
In a position to all in somebody. So in here, if you auto attack her, I think she's possibly dead, no? Probably she's dead, no?
Yeah.
If not, maximum Kayn kills her. I feel like you play a bit too passively.
Yeah, I did play, like, he didn't play around his openings well enough.
In time.
Erika's.
Apparently. I don't really like on his right into what of the map bypass or tend to what you call topside gank. The only way he ganks you if he goes all the way, but that's like really rarely happens, right? Not to happen, because until he arrives everybody is dead, top you, because like the JC just goes on the tower. In here we are kinda like playing with the fire and we are hoping that okay, so apparently you're really good at sidestepping Kariz. I like a decent play in here, apparently you're really good with dodging these Irelia's. Okay. So you set up your W, that's really good. The problem, so you went for a dodge, it's really good as well. And in here the problem kinda shows up that we don't have anti-heal, because from this point on, if we can maintain the Greaves.
Was anti-heal really a good idea at this stage? Maybe Irelia was that, I don't know, maybe shield that much. I don't even know honestly, maybe.
Wounds on her.
Let's see how much does she heal though.
Can't really like heal back. Even in here, like we should aim to pressure as much as possible, right? Yeah, worry. Another problem is that recently we saw that he proc the, I'm not sure if you saw it on the map, but Nocturne proc this plant. And I feel like he's really likely to be topside because his bot side is gone. We saw like Kayn was around the bot, was here, he got killed, then
okay, finally some jungle tracking as well, so we should... But I think it was after his 6. That's where I was also more concerned about like Nocturne. So I think that was fair to point it out, because mainly when it comes down to like Nocturne, it's not like a Zac. Like pre-6 you're gonna barely gank mid most of the times, especially into phase rush, especially into like weak gank setup, right? So
the Herald is up, right, and there is no Drake, right, and bot lane is not even gankable right now because they are missing, so it's either us or Jace, right?
That's fair.
So you got a good poke again. But yeah, like I would say, like instead of the Kindle Gem, it would be way more beneficial for you to get Oblivion Orb, and then we would have a tiny bit more damage. And
honestly, but I think at the end of the video I also mentioned that it was a bad idea to go Crown because it just dog shits your damage.
So in here we just go for a ward, that's really good.
Or was it after? I'm not sure if this was after or before Crown nerfs, I don't know.
Short part, but this ward is useless against Nocturne, honestly.
Yeah, that was a really good point out, because like Nocturne can R from here, mid lane, so this ward does not do much. You got a deep ward against some champs after tier 6, especially important, because once they show up, once they all in you, that ward not gonna do a lot, you know, if they have such a good engagement.
Because like his ultimate, like when he ganks you, he will ult, you know, like his ultimate is bigger than this range, you know. So against Nocturne you don't do anything with this ward, right? You should aim to go for some type of deeper ward.
Yeah, that's a fair point. That's well said.
It's like some junglers like Nocturne, Hecarim, Nunu maybe. You can't really go for close wards because they don't do much. Like if a Nunu charges up his snowball from here, you can spot him in here, but if you see him only in here when he has a big snowball and a huge amount of movement speed, you're already dead in lane, you know.
Yeah, that was fair.
Like you need to go for deeper wards, right? Sometimes you don't manage, right? Now in here we proc phase rush, and for some reason, like in here, I think you get caught by her E, but I'm not sure. So when she was stunned, you should flash that when she stuns, so that she can't like follow you up later on, you know, because one of her Q was still up, right? And she has no flash yet from the last time, right? So my point is that if you flash out of her Q range, she won't be able to finish you off with Ignite and her Q, right? Or what you could do, of course, is just to flash her ultimate, but I guess that would take you more skill as well, right? Like from the beginning, if we flash her ultimate, then she's in trouble, right? Like in here, but I'm not sure if you have the reaction time for that, because the closer she is to you, it's harder to react to it. So again, she was outplaying this minion, so even in here your spacing was a little bit bad.
Maybe I say it as a good player, you know, so maybe her E is a bit easier.
Because you don't really want to be close to a minion that has low. My point is that you're not positioning to flash her ultimate, but it takes some reaction time to flash that, right?
So I think it was more of a, yeah, look, you would just flash her E. Yeah.
Which is kinda hard to react. So
yeah, I think she
in here we stun her, that's really good. And in here we don't stay in her W, and we should like flash out, honestly, because she's gonna kill this minion, she's gonna heal up, right? There's just realistically no way we kill her in here. So
because if you're gonna flash, you know, at least you should flash, you know, the engage of Irelia. Because you're gonna be dead otherwise, because she runs Ignite, you know. Right?
Yeah, like in there, if you flashed earlier, she couldn't really connect it.
Yeah, like maybe, you know, just may fucking be Kayn would be able to step up, you know. Because like she doesn't get her Q reset like that, you feel me? She doesn't get that much damage off if he flashes something, so then Kayn kills the guy, maybe even if he doesn't get to, so that's that, you feel me?
Q so easy. Then again, there was like one small mistake that you started to auto-attack.
I don't want to make this video way too long because it will be boring to watch for people, but also I kind of want to get around the end because I think the end was kind of funny. Let's see
it. For you to take crown because you have some ranged abilities to proc it, and I feel like you have 0 damage. Like they stack so much.
Like that was kind of a brainwash.
HP, and without Liandry you have just 0 damage. Like that's the problem with crown, you know.
L9, what the fuck? Oh, I think that was Sandy L9. It was like a meme group, guys. Also, why the fuck was this called NSFW for horny teenagers? Oh, fitness products for sale when I had like a dog shit affiliate site, and the whole site was about like, I mean, basically I just tried to like cook something with some affiliate marketing. I think, I don't know if they were from Amazon or some fucking thing. I mean, I tried it, I tried to promote it, I even paid $20 to promote it, 25 euros something, I don't even remember. And I just burnt all that money because I didn't get any money out of it. I had some ClickBanks as well. I did set up my credit card for it, but I basically burned over like 500 lei or I don't know how much, a lot. And I tried to like sort of reinvest my money from my league coaching into something that can give me a passive income, but I also had like 0 business knowledge. At the end of the day, even though I burned lots of money on it, I'm still thinking like at least I tried it, at least I had the courage to try it, at least I was bold enough to try certain things, because it's kind of like if you are always the person that either always sits on the fence, or B scenario, you're never willing to, you know, invest into anything because it's risky, you know. It's kind of like living, you know, like living is so risky that it gets you killed. You feel me? And often just once you get the bill for not trying, trust me, that will be worse than as if you would fail and maybe even lose money, right? Like you could fail at certain things. For example, you could fail at like learning something and you could like try it again later, but sometimes you're gonna fail and you're gonna also lose money, which can be also way more mentally taxing. But at the end of the day, I'm always thinking like, yeah, bro, like it's fine, you know, like I went through this, I tried it at least, and I seen it's not, at least it's good to know it's not fucking working, and it's good to like not recommend it to people, because a lot it came down to also like motivation. Like I didn't even give a shit about gym products. He asked me about what kind of product should it be, if I'm passionate about some. I didn't even know what kind of products should I sell. I just went with his opinion. But I'm glad that I tried these things, you know, like I was like 18, I think. Back in the time I was 18, 17, something, probably 18. And I'm happy, you know, I'm happy that at least I tried it, you know.
Alright. We finished with this game. Do you have to ask anything if maybe I forgot to mention something or about this matchup, like...
No,
No, not really. Alright,
not really.
alright, that's fine then. I'm gonna leave for now. Have a nice day then.
Later. Later.
Just disengage from the conversation. Yeah, like if you wanna see the whole thing, you can find this in my YouTube channel. Uh, basically, I also posted my, I was also promoting my own Discord at the same time. So I was kind of like trying to like business something out here. I was trying. So basically, if you wanna rewatch it, just type this. I'm gonna leave the link also obviously in the description. So if you wanna watch the whole thing, you can. But it's also kind of boring as I noticed, and I think the mid game will be even more boring. So that's it for now, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys saw how I was in the past and noticed how much did I perhaps improve on certain things such as my setups, my coachings, my this and that, you feel me? So you can also like leave your opinion if I improved over time, if I got worse over time. So that's it for now, guys. Have a nice day. And this was always the old quote as well. That's it for now. Have a nice day. So people that have been watching me for a long time, they already know this old thing I always say at the end of the video.